Hey everyone. In a previous video, I made this background by just ink smushing some leftover squeezed lemonade Distress Oxide ink. So today I'm going to use it to create a card. So I have this beautiful Birdsong stamp and die set by Sizzix and 49 and Market. And I've taken some Distress Oxide ink in mustard seed. And I am stamping random stamps from this set all over this panel and just covering it up. That mustard seed ink is just a little bit darker than the squeezed lemonade, so it stands out nicely on there. And I'm just basically filling this panel up. And once I've got enough stamping on here, I'm going to tear the edges all around this panel just to give it that torn edge look. And then I'm going to come in with the same squeezed lemonade Distress Oxide ink and a little finger dauber and just ink up all the edges of that. And then I'm going to bring in the Distress Mica Spray. I believe that one is tarnished brass. And I'm just getting out my little splatter box and I am going to give it a little shake and then just open it up and splatter some droplets of that mica spray. Gives it that nice little shimmer splatter effect. And I'm going to bring out my heat gun and just dry those splatters. So I'm just going to layer this card panel over a card base just to see what it looks like with the white edges. And then for decoration on here, I'm going to bring out my 49 and Market Flower Emporium Icon Ephemera bits. There are so many choices in here, like 217 die cut pieces. So I did skip a little bit of my going through them to try to figure out what I wanted to use. Like I said, there are so many choices on here. Lots of different colors, lots of black and whites. I decided to go with some black and white little sprigs of leaves and flowers. So I'm just going to layer those up on the card and just get a visual of how it looks. And then for the sentiment, I have this die cut banner from the Sentimental Banners set by Poppy Stamps. And I had a few die cut on there and that are just blank. So I am going to use that and choose a stamp from that stamp set in a little bit. But first I'm bringing out my splatter box and I wanted to take that same mica spray and just cover both of those little ephemera pieces with the mica spray just to give it a little bit of shimmer and different color. So I will let those pieces dry and work on my sentiment. So I'm taking the stamps out of that set and deciding on what one to use. There's several options there, but I decided to go with the one that says "Thankful for You." So I'm going to stick that onto an acrylic block and I am going to stamp that sentiment in VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And then I will heat set it with clear embossing powder as well. And that stamped beautifully. So my sentiment is ready. And I am just going to take my heat gun and dry those little twigs that have the mica spray. Look at that shimmer. So again, I'm just going to layer everything up and see if I like how it looks. I do like that curvy banner on there. I thought about a straight one, but the curvy one to me just seemed better. So I've got my art glitter glue, and I am going to adhere this torn panel onto the card base. The torn edges make it easier to line up straight on the card base because you don't notice if it's a little tiny bit crooked because of those torn edges. So that's a win for me. So now that the panel is on nicely, I am going to bring in my glue again and glue those two little ephemera pieces on. And here goes the second one. Just lining it up, applying my glue, and sticking it down. And finally, the sentiment. And this card is finished. So it pays to use up the leftover ink from ink smushing. That's what the background of this card is. And here we go. Look at all that shimmer on there. Thankful for you. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.